Welcome to the online English class. As usual, I'm Muhammad Mahmud Hassan, lecturer in English, Rani Bhavani Government Women's College, Natur. Our today's discussion is about right form of verb. Learning outcome is that we will discuss right form of verb. In our previous classes, we discussed right form of verb. This is going to be the continuation of the right form of verb. And step by step, rule after rule, we are discussing. Today, the first rule, titles of books, movies, novels, and other similar works are treated as singular and take a singular verb. So the titles of books, movies, novels, and other similar works, though it looks plural, but all these will be treated as singular. Examples: Great Expectations is a Victorian novel by Charles Dickens. Great Expectations is a novel, though it looks plural, but as it is the title of a novel or book, it will be singular and our verb will be singular. Great Expectations is a Victorian novel by Charles Dickens. The Arabian Nights is a popular folk tale. The Arabian Nights, it looks plural, but it is a title of a folk tale book. That is why it is singular and our verb is singular here. Rule number 2. It is no good, it is no use follows ing form of verb. That means after it is no use or it is no good, we use ing form of verb. Here the example is given. It is no use talking to him. It is no use after this talking to him. It is no good telling a lie. After it is no good telling, not tell or told, any other form, rather telling, talking. So after it is no good or it is no use, we normally use ing form of verb. Rule number 3. If two clauses of a sentence is connected with since, connector, since, the structure would be present indefinite or present perfect, since, past indefinite. This is one kind of structure, and another is like this: past indefinite, since, past perfect. So if we use since as connector of two clause, our structure would be like first one and the second one. Anything can be. Examples will make you clear. Some days have passed since my father died. Here since is used as connector and we have two clause before since. Some days have passed, then another one, my father died. So in the first case we have used present perfect, and after since we have used past indefinite, my father died. And in the second example, Rahman failed his exams. since he had not studied hard. Here also since is used as connector. Rahman failed his exams, it's a clause. He had not studied hard, it's another clause. In the first case, we have used past indefinite. Rahman failed his exams, and so after since we need to use past perfect. He had not studied hard. So if since is used as the connector of two clause, our structure will be two, and we should memorize it. That is why our sentence pattern will be correct. Rule number 4. No sooner had than, scarcely had, when, hardly had, when, or before. In all three cases, first clause would be past perfect, and the second clause after than, when, or before, it would be first simple or past indefinite. So no sooner had than, scarcely had when, hardly had when, or before. In all these structures, in the first clause we need to use past perfect tense, and in the second clause after connector we need to use past indefinite or simple past. We need to memorize this. Examples is given here. No sooner had we reached the station, the train left. No sooner had we reached the station, this is the past perfect tense, then the train left. Pardon, I have not used the connector than. There must be a than here. No sooner had we reached the station, then the train left. Then in the second sentence, hardly had the train stopped before we got down. So hardly had the train stopped. This is past perfect tense. Before is connector. After this we got down. So in the first case we need to use past perfect sentence, and in the second clause we need to use past indefinite or simple past. Rule number 5. We use present form or base form of verb after make, see, was, hear, let as bare infinitive. That is, we do not use to plus verb after make, see, was, hear, let. If we face make, see, was, hear, let as the main verb of a sentence, then we need not to use to plus verb. Rather, we should use base form of verb. I heard the baby cry for his food. He did not let me play the guitar. So, heard is used as the main verb, and we need not to use another to plus verb. Rather, direct base form of verb, cry. And this is correct. He did not let me play the guitar. We have used let here, and so after this we need not to use to plus base form of verb. Rather, simple base form of verb will be used, and this is called actually bare infinitive. So after make, see, was, hear, let, we need not use to plus base form of verb. Rather, direct base form of verb. Rule number 6. Modal verbs always take present form or base form of verb after it. You know the names of modal verbs: shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, must, ought to, used to, be to, need, bear, would rather, had better. All these are modal verbs. And if we use modal verbs in a sentence, we must use only the base form of verb after it. Examples will make you clear. We must or ought to obey our parents. You needn't worry about that. He used to play football. Must and ought to. These are modal verbs. And that is why after this we have used the base form of verb, obey. You need not worry about that. Need is a modal verb, and after this we have used base form of verb, worry. He used to play football. Used to is a modal verb, and that is why after this we use only the base form of verb. So we need to keep all these modal verbs in our mind. And if we use these modal verbs in a sentence, we need not to use to plus base form of verb, rather direct base form of verb. Rule number 7. After while, if we get clause or subject, we use past continuous form of verb. But if we get verb just immediate after it, we use ing form of verb. Examples: while I was playing in the field, a snake bit me. After while we have used a clause, that is why it is in past continuous form. While I was playing in the field, a snake bit me. And in the second example, while reading in the library, a friend called me. While reading in the library, reading, the verb has come just immediate after while. That is why it is in ing form. But in the first case, after while, I was playing in the field. I, subject has come first. And it's a clause. And whenever we use a clause after while, it would be past continuous. And if the verb direct comes after while, just immediate after while, then we use ing form of verb. It's a simple sentence and it is a complex sentence. Rule number 8. For causative verbs. Actually, causative verbs, by these verbs we make others do something. We are not doing the work, rather we make others do something. Causative verbs. We use normally two structures. First structure, have or get plus object plus verb past participle. And in the second structure, have, let, make, help plus object plus base form of verb. So have, let, make, help, all these are causative verbs. By these verbs we make others do something. And if we get object, we can use v.p.p, verb past participle, and another one after causative verbs plus object plus base form of verb. Examples will make you clear. I got my car repaired. Get is a causative verb. My car, it's an object. So v.p.p form has been used. Past participle form of verb has been used. I got my car repaired, or I got my hair cut. In the second example, the speaker failed to make the audience listen to him patiently. Make is a causative verb. After make, the object, the audience has come. So after this, listen to, base form of verb has been used. So causative verb plus object plus v.p.p, causative verb plus object plus base form of verb. Normally we use these two structures after causative verbs, and we seriously need to keep this in our mind, otherwise the meaning of the sentence will be vague or unclear, or it will make a misunderstanding. Rule number 9. After as though, as if, wish, we use where. We use where as be verb, irrespective of person. I wish I were as tall as my brother. I wish I were as tall as my brother. Wish, after wish, we use were. I were. It is not I was. In the second example, he speaks as if he were a mad. He speaks as if he were a mad. If it would be they speak as if they were mads. It would be correct. Or he wishes he were as tall as his brother. It would be correct too. Whatever the person, I, we, he, she, it, in all cases, in case of be verb, we need to use where. In all cases, we need to use where. So after as though, as if, wish, if we use be verb, that must be where. I wish I were as tall as my brother. This is rule number 10. In a simple sentence, we use to plus base form of verb or ing form of verb after main verb. Normally in a sentence we use a main verb, and if another verb comes after it, that verb must be in ing form or in to plus base form of verb. He gave up playing football. Give up or gave up, it is the main verb of this sentence. He gave up playing football. We have used ing form of verb in the second verb. In the second sentence, he intends to play. He intends to stay in the country for 2 months. Intends, it's the main verb, and after it we have used another verb, and in that case we have used base form of verb, to plus base form of verb. So in a simple sentence, if we face another verb comes after main verb, that verb would be either in ing form or in 2 plus base form of verb. He gave up playing football. He intends to stay in the country for 2 months. So, thank you very, very much, my dear students. My suggestion to all of you is that stay at home and study hard, and expecting our normal classes will open soon. Before that, stay home, stay safe. Was on our next all online classes. Thank you very, very much.